It has come to my attention that some of y'all conservatives are mad as fuck at me about the joke that I made about Candace Owens and Erica Kirk. And y'all don't know the history. Y'all don't know the history of Turning Point USA, Toilet Paper USA, and Candace Owens' crazy descent into madness and her origins, and the whole thing that she had going on with Charlie Kirk before he married his current wife, Serena Joyless. So, because I love mess and terrible people, I will be explaining it to you. Candace Owens grew up in Connecticut. Divorced parents, one of 4 kids. She went to Stanford High School, and when she was 17, she was the target of racist bullying at her high school. She got death threat voicemail messages from a group of white boys at this school, one of whom was the son of the mayor at the time, Daniel Malloy. Her family sued the Board of Education and said that the city did not protect her civil rights, and they got $37,500 settlement in 2008. She was going to get an undergrad degree in journalism. She had to drop out because some problem with her student loan. Worked as an admin assistant for a private equity firm down in Manhattan. She worked as an intern for Vogue magazine. In 2015, she was a progressive who fucking hated the Tea Party, the Republican Tea Party. If you're too young to remember what the Tea Party was, I envy you. Basically, it was a gigantic, thinly veiled political movement. It was very thinly veiled racism that just fucking hated Barack Obama and wanted to go back to the values of like the founding fathers and the Tea Party. And I was a member. My mother was a member. I got dragged to all these rallies. Like, I know my shit. So in 2015, Candace Owens is working for this marketing agency called Degree 180, and she writes blog posts. And in one of these blog posts, she said that the good news is that Republicans will eventually die off peacefully in their sleep, we hope, and then we can get right on with the obvious social change that needs to happen immediately. She launches a website in 2016 that she said is going to expose bullies on the internet by tracking their digital footprint. She was using crowdfunding on Kickstarter to start this website. It was very controversial. They were like, you're literally doxing people and violating their privacy no matter what they did. People on both sides of the aisle were like really weirded out by this shit. And she didn't back down, and then people started putting her personal information online. There was no evidence that there were progressives or Democrats behind this. None at all. Did that stop Miss Owens? No. She got online and started fixing her mouth to say that it was Democrats and progressives that were doxing her shit online. Then a bunch of conservatives are like, oh, like, we love you so much. Like, you're really telling it like it is. And then this is going on when Gamergate is happening. So you have people like Milo Yiannopoulos and Mike Cernovich who are like, oh my God, Candace Owens is like a hero. And then she becomes a conservative because she realizes that she can get cha-ching from this. Kickstarter suspends funding for this website that she wanted to do, and it never got created. By 2017, she is posting a bunch of pro-Trump shit, and she starts working for Turning Point USA. Charlie Kirk announces that she has been hired as the director of urban engagement. This is in November of 2017. And they basically hired her because at the time there were a bunch of allegations of racism within Turning Point USA, and they were like, oh no, we're not racist, look, we have a black girl as our director of urban communication. So again, 2017 is when she is already friends with Charlie Kirk, and she has become the director, right? A director at Turning Point. And she and Charlie do all kinds of shit together. They got pictures of themselves going to events. They hosted this like summit at the White House for like conservative black teenagers. About 400 kids showed up, but they have like YouTubers speaking at this thing and a Breitbart news editor, and they're giving speeches on stage, and they're hugging each other, and they're like very into each other. There's pictures of them in a hotel room together where he's like on the bed with her. It's interesting. Now, Candace Owens starts the decline into madness, like true unhinged madness. You can make the argument that this was a sort of madness in and of itself to work for Turning Point USA, but I digress. She stopped working as the communications director by May of 2019. So she had this position for about a year and a half. And then she starts working for the Daily Wire and for PragerU. And she starts saying some fucking crazy shit. She starts saying that like a Jewish man who got lynched around the turn of the century in Georgia was actually trying to kill and eat white people for like a Passover ritual, which is blood libel and anti-Semitic. She stated that black people in America had it better in the first 100 years after the abolition of slavery in the United States than they have since then. You know, back when you couldn't vote. You had it better. She has spread conspiracy theories about the moon landing and about George Soros funding Black Lives Matter. She has embraced the trad wife shit. She thinks the Me Too movement is stupid, even though she got a massive payout because she was the subject of racist and sexist harassment in high school. Okay. She thinks that if women don't have children, something biochemically happens to them. She has said that science is a pagan faith and kind of believes, has expressed interest in shit like the flat earther thing and also in Holocaust denial. Most famously, she said in 2018 that Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and that was fine. And that Hitler's dreams of the whole world speaking German was not nationalism. She also believes that Harvey Weinstein is innocent. And it seems to be specifically her views on Jewish people that was the main splitting point between her and leaving the Daily Wire, because she left the Daily Wire after she was accused of anti-Semitism. And some of the stuff she said, she got really mad that Jordan Peterson called Nick Fuentes a psychopathic rat when Fuentes tweeted that Jews control the Biden administration. And Nick Fuentes loves her ass. He was tweeting saying that she was bravely waging a full-fledged war against the Jews. Owens has also claimed that Joseph Stalin was Jewish and that Sigmund Freud and that all Stalinists are part of a Jewish cabal. She believes in the Khazarian origin conspiracy theory about Judaism, which I don't have time to get into here, but that's pretty bizarre and out there, and says that the war in Ukraine is a result of the Khazarian desire to seek revenge on Russia and Iran for being forced to convert to Judaism in the 8th century. And due to her raging anti-Semitism, she is a critic of Israel. You can be a critic of Israel because you're not an anti-Semite, and you can be a critic of Israel because you're absolutely insane and you think the Jews run the world. She's on the other side of the spectrum here. And that is why she had to split with Ben Shapiro at the Daily Wire, because he was like, even he was like... And after Charlie Kirk was in the neck, Candace Owens was posting like her best friend had died. She was calling him her brother. We all know a girl like that. And saying all this stuff and posting all these very personal photos. Let's move on over to Erica Kirk. Erica Kirk, walking extension store and DEI hire currently at Turning Point USA, started dating Charlie Kirk in 2019. They got engaged in December of 2020. According to her, they went on one date and this man sat down across from her, looked her in the eyes and just said, "I'm going to date you." And it started out as a job interview. That sounds professional. Anyway, she was raised Catholic. She's a beauty pageant entrant and attended Liberty University, famously started by Jerry Falwell Sr. When she and Charlie Kirk got married in 2021, Turning Point USA funded the whole entire reception. Interesting. She had to find out that her own husband died from the news, which is weird. And then she posted a curated, edited video of herself crying all over his very orange and bald hands. I'm sorry. And going on record saying that she had told her daughter, basically, that it was her daughter's fault that her daddy wasn't home because they had to afford a blueberry budget. Whatever the fuck that means. Also, Erica has not once even acknowledged Candace Owens' posting about her husband's death. Candace is actually out there on podcasts saying that like a bunch of stuff doesn't add up and that she wants answers about how Charlie Kirk got popped in the neck. And Erica is out there like, "I am going to kill all of you. Give me money. You have no idea the fire I have unleashed. I am incredibly emotional, but my Botox face will not let me move my eyebrow." And now she's been handed the reins of the Turning Point USA, the organization. She's been named the CEO under no merit of her own, just because that's what they wanted to do. And look, am I saying that Turning Point USA kind of pushed Charlie Kirk towards somebody who would look appropriate on his arm at events instead of the black woman so that they could more effectively cater to their incredibly racist audience? No, I'm not saying that. And then it's suspicious. It's kind of weird. Anyway, Candace Owens went and married some fucking English lord and had 3 kids. So, like, you know. And that's also weird because her husband, George Farmer, the son of Lord Farmer, right, proposed to her 18 days after they met each other for the first time over a FaceTime call. And then they got married at a Trump winery. I'm sorry, I misspoke. They have 4 kids now, not 3. This is very interesting body language. So here's the full timeline, right? Charlie meets Erica and goes on their first job interview that turns into a date in September of 2018. Candace is off Turning Point USA's urban outreach position. She's out of that position by May 2019. By August 2019, Candace is married to George Farmer, who is definitely not in the closet. By December of the next year, Charlie Kirk proposes to Erica, and by May of the following year, 2021, Charlie and Erica are married. Again, with both weddings being partially funded or sponsored by conservative organizations. It's weird. It's suspicious. I'm just saying. And all these people are fucking horrible, so I don't feel bad about shitting on them on TikTok. So stop sending me fucking death threats. I really don't give a shit. You're not gonna make me do shit. And this has been your long-ass form video of the day talking about the crazy politics within conservative think tank. Okay, bye!